I am Rachel from SweetCarts, and I'm here with Debbie from Fox and Heron today. And I'm so excited to be able to introduce her to you guys. She makes beautiful, like Hollywood costume style, extravagant clothing that I think everyone is going to love. And so, so do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it. I'm Debbie. Fox and Heron is my children's clothing brand. I live outside of Chicago, and I started the business about 2 years ago.
Awesome. And I do have to ask, the name Fox and Heron, is there any kind of special story behind that, or is it just two animals you like it?
My father passed away at the time I was going to start the brand, and my dad was called the Silver Fox when he was young. He got white hair in his 20s, so throughout his life, people would call him that. And then right when he passed away, I started seeing herons and egrets all over the place in places that I would never expect, and cranes. So I decided to name the business after him, the fox for when he was alive, and the heron for after he was gone.
Oh, no, that's so special. Yeah, no, I had no idea that it had any special significance. So now everyone knows.
Yes.
So what were you doing before? Were you always involved in fashion in some way, or was this totally new for you?
Totally new, had no experience whatsoever. I was in the nuclear power industry before this, and I was in the Navy.
Oh, wow. Oh, so I saw on your website that you're a veteran-owned company, so you're actually the veteran.
Yes, and I'm still a reservist now. I did 8 years active duty, and then I've been a reservist for 10 years.
Oh, wow. Were you stationed in any kind of cool, crazy places?
I was stationed first in Rhode Island. Then I went to Japan. I was in Japan for 1.5 years. Then I was in Charleston, South Carolina for a year. Then San Diego, and then Chicago. And that's how I wound up in Chicago.
So all those cities you just mentioned have totally different cultures, and I'm sure, has that had any influence on like your designs? You were exposed to so many different trends and styles all over the world.
Yeah, I would say so. I do really like a lot of the Asian influences. You probably haven't seen it much, but I do use some of the fabrics. I use a lot of fabrics actually, and ribbons and laces from Japan. Okay. And I'm thinking about some more Japanese designs. Yes. I love the Asian influence.
I could totally see you doing like a really fancy kimono or something like that. I could totally
see you I've had that on my list of things to do for a while now.
Yeah, I could see. I would love to see your take on like a kimono for like a Halloween costume or something at least.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, your Halloween costumes are so like professional looking. I love them. So.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. So what was it what was the spark that made you say, like, I can design children's clothing in particular? Because you could have done probably pretty much anything.
Well, I had a good job. Everything was going well. And then my daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Mm-hmm. And she needed me to be with her 24/7. And I had been working from home. When I got pregnant, my company let me work from home, but my management changed and they wanted everyone to be back in the office. Right. And I realized with her that wasn't possible. It wasn't safe, that she needs me to check her blood sugars and to administer her insulin. And she's very sensitive to insulin and her numbers have been very unstable. So I'm with her 24/7. So if I was going to be back in the office, it just wouldn't be a safe situation. So I decided to quit my job and be a stay-at-home mom, basically. And then after that, I decided, maybe I could try something in the evenings and on the weekends. And so I work in the evenings and the weekends when my husband is home. Right. And then during the day, I'm a mom.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't even imagine it takes such, dedication and commitment. So I completely applaud you for doing all of that. And
thanks much. It's nice to have the opportunity to be with her and make sure that she's safe.
Right. And I don't know if the people listening know, I actually didn't realize this until I read it on your website too, that a portion of your proceeds actually do go toward trying to find a cure for type 1 diabetes.
Yes, in fact, I was donating a portion to the Junior Diabetes Research Foundation, and I'm going to update my website. I found a fabulous doctor, and she's on the East Coast, and she's dedicating her whole life to trying to find a cure for juvenile type 1 diabetes. So I want to change my website and have people, instead of donating to the JDRF, start donating directly to her. because I'm very hopeful that she's going to find a cure for type 1 diabetes in my daughter's life. And it will just be so wonderful for all these kids who are going through so much dealing with this disease. It's very difficult.
Yeah. And how old is she now?
She's 5. She was diagnosed right before she turned 2.
Okay. So yeah. So it's been a couple of years of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, so does your daughter have a crazy fashion sense? Does she inspire your clothing in any way?
She does. She's extremely picky. She's the reason behind most of my Disney-inspired sets. She tells me what she wants me to make, and then that's usually why you see it. She was the reason for my Wonder Woman costume.
Right.
And I did a whole collection of rainbow stuff last summer, and she was the reason behind that. And I'm going to do another one this summer for her. And I'm about to release a new style dress. It'll be a lot of fruits and a mod style. And she's the reason behind that too. She's extremely picky.
Yes.
So she tells me if it's good or not.
Right. Yes. You have someone at home that's your worst critic, or your best critic, I should say.
Yes. And my little one, she loves everything I make. She's never seen a dress she didn't like.
I have kind of my own perception of what your clothing is just from looking at it. But I mean, how would you describe it? What do you aspire to be as a fashion label?
I really like vintage, 1930s to 1950s inspired styles. About the era, that my dad was a child. That's kind of the look I'm going for. And then I want high quality, high end. So all my fabrics are high quality, something that you can feel safe putting on your child. I use top of the line seamstresses that help me out. I do like fancy dresses and tutus and all. That's from my daughter. And so I'm working with a couture seamstress for a couture line for that. And so I want to provide something that's going to be high quality and that that's safe for your child and it's going to last for generations to come. So my items are expensive, but they're very durable. My daughter wears them to school every day. Runs around, plays, goes to the park, gets paint on them. I clean them, put them in the wash. So they're durable, they're going to last, and I plan on passing them all down to my grandchildren.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing about children's clothing and the price of it is like, what else is expensive? Going to Target and buying hundreds of dollars of stuff that's going to just completely either be donated or sold for 25 cents at a yard sale or something too. So it's a better investment too to buy some of these pieces that can be, passed down and especially if they're classic style, like some of yours are the vintage pieces. It's never going to go out of style. So
that's my hope. And I also try to do things that are really versatile. So like, for example, my Samantha set, that's my most popular. It has a shirt and bloomers, and that mix and matches with my skirts and with a whole bunch of other items. So it's something that you buy one set, but you can wear it so many different ways and mix and match it with other pieces. So you get a lot of use out of it.
I do love those. They're so, so cute. I can't wait for my daughter. She's only 10 months old, but when she's a little older and can actually like stand up and and do things, those would be so cute for pictures. It's actually like one of my favorite things that you've made. So I love it.
Oh, thank you so much.
You actually did kind of touch on one of the other things that I was going to ask you, that you said you do have some seamstresses that do help you sew. Did you actually start out doing it all yourself and then you've kind of grown to hire some of it out, or?
No, I started out with one other girl. She lives local to me. And so I design everything myself. And then she is a pattern maker and she turns all my designs into my patterns, and she was helping me sewing. But it got too much for both of us. So spent a lot of money trying to find a good seamstress that I could rely on. So I found a couple other moms that are local to me, and they help me out. And then I have one hand embroidery mom that lives in Wyoming, and she's a stay-at-home mom before too. So I have a couple people I know that I can drive back and forth and help me out.
So all your clothes are actually sewn by hand. It's manufactured.
Right. Nothing is manufactured. Everything is by moms and small. We do lots of one of a kinds, one at a time. I talk to everybody when they get their order, making sure that the fabric is right, and what they want, if they want to switch it up. So it's all just small batches, I guess, or it's not like one or two at a time. And so I have a grader that I work with, a pattern maker that I work with. My grader also does my digitizing. So I send my designs to my pattern maker. She helps me turn it into a pattern, sends it back to me, or I drive down and get it, try it on my daughter, tweak this, figure out how to make it better, have my daughters wear it, see if it's comfortable, see if it's too tight, if it itches at all, to change things up. And then once we finalize it, I send it to a digitizer and grader who also lives by me. And then she grades it to the different sizes, prints out what we call the markers on the paper so that my seamstress knows exactly how to place it on the fabric to cut it. And then I make all my samples in my daughter's sizes, and I, take my sample to my seamstress, and then they know how to sew it.
Yeah, how to scale it up and scale it down. So I guess long story short, it's way more than just sort of like drawing something on a piece of paper and then suddenly there's a lot of steps. Yeah.
That's kind of what I want to differentiate myself from the rest of the people. I do all the patterns myself, with my pattern maker. So I never buy a pattern. So it's very unique. I don't want someone to just be able to get on Etsy and find the pattern and make it themselves.
Right.
And it's also very detailed. There's lots of petticoats. I like big, full skirts. Mm-hmm. So lots and lots of layers. Most of my designs take about 8 hours to make. You have to cut it and then to sew it. Lots of details, lots of ribbon and trim, and many, many layers built into the to get the fullness appearance. And I take pride on all the details.
Right. Well, awesome too. I guess kind of another thing I was really curious about is, you're really trying to compete in a super, super competitive space. Can you kind of mention that a little bit about differentiating yourself? I mean, there's, what do you think is really the hardest thing about the industry that you're in of, little children's clothing, if anything?
Well, I do think it's difficult, especially when my price point is so much higher than everybody else's. So I do need to, really differentiate myself. And I think I do that by the complexity of my designs, the uniqueness of my designs. You can't find it anywhere else. And the fact that it's such high quality that it is going to last. And you can be very confident that it's not only going to pass down to siblings, but it's going to pass down to grandchildren.
Right. Yeah, I can.
And I have good customer service as well. If something happens with one of my items, call me back and I'll fix it. I always want everyone to be 100% happy.
Yeah. And, I've spoken to other people in the industry, and I buy a lot of boutique and stuff myself, and that's not going to throw anyone under the bus, but that's definitely not something that's consistent across the board too, the customer service. So yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
I try.
Yeah. What do you think is the most fun thing about, being able to be in the industry that you're in of children's fashion?
I love taking my daughter's ideas and making, her dreams come true. She gets so excited when she sees it turn into reality, or she sits down with me and she's drawing things out of what she wants it to be. And then when I bring it home to her, she's so excited.
Right.
She loves it.
Yeah, that's so fun. That is special.
Or when she wakes up in the morning and it's done, and she's like, "How did you do that?" And it's like, "Well, I'm working while you were asleep."
Right. Oh, that is special. Like you said, creating like the Wonder Woman outfit or something that she can dream up, and you're able to go and turn it into reality. So that is fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yes. The best part, I think.
Yes. And that's actually one of the questions that I want to try and ask everybody, because I would love to find this answer, is what do you think about dressing up little girls that is seriously so fun and drives people, to such levels of fanaticism? Like, what is it? Why is it so much more fun than dressing up boys?
I like seeing, my son unfortunately passed away, so I never got to dress him up, but I love seeing my little girl's face light up when she says, "Oh my gosh, I can't wait to put that on." And then she's twirling around and dancing at it, and she's just so excited. So I think that it's just so much fun to see how happy she gets. And then she wants to show her friends, and it's really exciting.
Right.
You can live vicariously through them.
Yeah. You know what? I actually really like that phrase you said. I think it is sort of living vicariously a little bit through,
It is, because I can't wear those short little skirts,
right,
but they look so cute on them with the little knee socks. It's just adorable. And you only are little once. Live it up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like if I were to wear crazy stuff, people would look at me funny, but when it's a kid, it's cute. So, right.
Exactly. And I made some pretty obnoxious shorts last year that were bright rainbow sequin shorts, but they just look so cute on little girls. And I just love seeing them running around at the park in them, and with their bright sunglasses to match. And it was just so cute.
I feel like I saw that in there was like a roller skating rink type of photo shoot or something that was done with them. I think I saw that.
Meg Bitten photographed them as well. Yes. She shares my passion for rainbows.
Yes. I think, I mean, rainbows are in right now. A lot of the big brands are like Gap came out with like a rainbow line and stuff like that. So
yes.
That is definitely super trendy. So I guess this is kind of like a big picture question, but what do you want your company to be in 10 years? Or do you picture yourself? Go ahead.
I would like to grow it. I would love to see it in stores. I do think that the vintage look is different than what's out there mainstream. So I think that it is a niche that I would like to capitalize on. It'll definitely take some time for me to get to that point, because right now I am doing such small numbers. Mm-hmm. I would have to find the capability to sew with the same attention to detail that I have now in larger numbers. And right now I want to take that slowly, because I don't want to lose what I've worked so hard to establish, with a name, and people associate my name with high quality. So I have to take it slow to get to that point, but I would like to grow it and do more couture lines. I would like to grow that as well. Maybe branch off and do a separate business that's just couture dresses, and more boy stuff. I would love to do more boy stuff. And more mommy and me sets. I've just started doing that, and I'm really enjoying that. And I have my first wedding dress that I'm working on right now.
Oh, yeah. That's amazing. So, I was actually going to ask about the little boy stuff, because I know that one of the big brands, if you're familiar with like Janie and Jack, they do those little suspenders and stuff. And I could totally see a boy version of like the Samantha sets or something like that that'll match. I could totally see.
I do some boy stuff right now, like my Gabriel sets. That's my knickers and suspenders, newsboy cap, vest and shirt. And then I have a Bobby sailor set. I have a few sets, but I haven't done a lot. It doesn't seem like there's the market. Like you said before, dressing up girls must be different than dressing up boys. So there's not the huge market, but I would like to have more boy items available.
Right. So I'm excited to see everything you have coming. I would love to see that wedding dress. I'm sure it's over the top and beautiful. So
it'll be another couple months in the making, but I'm working on that now. Thanks.
Awesome. So you kind of touched, I guess, you kind of already answered this question a little bit, but like what should we look out for you in 2018? So you have some wedding stuff, some boy stuff. Is there anything more that people should know about?
I'm working on a new style right now. It's a little different for me. It's going to be more 60s inspired.
Okay.
Than my daughter wanted me to do. So that'll probably be done in a couple of weeks. And then I do have a few more designs coming for the summer, and a couple more back to school items as well. And then I'm already started thinking about Christmas for next year.
Yes. I mean, with the time that it takes to make it, I'm sure you have to be planning stuff out like months and months in advance. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like my swing coat that I just finished in bonnet, I started working on that when I first started 2 years ago, but it takes a lot of time with tweaking the designs to get it to the way you want before you can release it.
Yeah, and all the steps and people involved and making the patterns and stuff, I'm sure. And you want to be able to get it to production in time. So
right, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, is that hard getting into the spirit of like Christmas when it's March or something like that, or?
I try to start planning Christmas during Christmas so that it's kind of in my mind.
Right.
And so I'm kind of feeling it. And then I have the design kind of ready to go. And then I work on it through the next couple months so that I have, by the time Christmas comes, by the time August comes next year, it's ready to go. But I was thinking about it during the right season.
Right. Yeah. I feel like it's kind of hard to take yourself out of, summer or something like that. So yeah.
Yes, exactly.
About that.
Yeah.
Well, perfect. So of all the items, and you have a lot that you've designed, do you have like one favorite piece that you've ever made that you just really love?
I would probably say my Samantha set. I really like the fullness of the skirt, the little bloomers peeking out. And I like it's really versatile. My daughter wears the blouses and the bloomers with so many other sets. I would say that one is the cutest, and good for your money because you get so much use out of it.
Right. Yeah. And well, yeah, and you can produce it in so many different styles. It'll go with all these different things. It's like you said, it's really
Right.
versatile. So.
And I just got my first request to start doing that as Alice in Wonderland and some other Disney princesses. So I'm thinking that that'll be fun. I've only done Snow White so far, but I think that would be a lot of fun to start doing it as all the princesses.
Right. Oh, that would be so cute. I love it.
Yeah.
A little custom. I do love
So
that.
maybe we'll see that in 2018.
Yes. Oh, that's so cute. So I mean, I know, as a mom and you have a daughter, are there, what's your other favorite children's clothing brands that you buy, other than yours?
Well, my daughter loves Target and the Gap.
Yeah.
So that's my big competition right now. I have to try to convince her to wear my clothes versus Target and the Gap.
Right, right.
But I like Melon Monkeys. I think that's adorable stuff. And I think the owner is really sweet. I really like that one.
Okay, I'll have to check them out. It's Melon Monkeys? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to
They're
check
adorable.
them out.
Really, really cute. Really, really cute stuff. Lots of bright colors, mix and matching patterns. Like basically the opposite of me, because I'm more like classic. She's more funky and mixing up stuff, but I love it. It's really cute and quirky.
Okay, I'll look it up and I'll include the link in the video description if anyone wants to check them out.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that is pretty much what I had for you.
Great, thanks so much.
Yeah, I know. It was so amazing. I love getting to know and letting everyone else get to know too the person that's behind all of these beautiful creations. So if someone is interested in you, how can they find out more? Where would you like them to follow you, and how can they?
Definitely on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Fox and Heron, and then also on Instagram, Fox and Heron. On Instagram, it's FOXANDHERON, and then on Facebook, I think it's just Fox Heron. Now I'm questioning myself. And maybe it's Fox and Heron on Facebook too. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram are the two places.
Okay.
And then I have a website as well. Most of my stuff is not listed on my website. Most of it's people just message me, and it's mostly custom orders. But there's some stuff listed on my website. And my website is www.foxheron.bigcartel.com.
Okay, yeah, and I'll make sure that we have all the right links, and I'll include all of that, and make sure that everyone can get the right link and find you. So yeah, it's been amazing to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, and you guys can find us on Facebook as well. It's just facebook.com/SweetCarts Club, and same username on Instagram as well. So, all right, well, you guys.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Bye.